So what brings us here to this archive? Well, basically, I think at the beginning of October, like maybe at the end of September, like basically, no, I think it was that last week of September or so, like my oldest sister came and she handed all of us like a $50 gift card and such. And so I was like, well shoot, I don't know what to spend this on, so I kind of just let it sit for like basically nearly 2 months until the end of November. I finally decided to try to use it because I was trying to figure out like if I actually wanted to get something resourceful that can actually help the channel or just get more done things with it. And I ultimately decided to just make it a Twitter poll. So to my surprise, I put in something useful or just albums, and people voted for albums. So it's like, okay, I guess we're doing that. So the initial plan was that I was gonna use this gift card on Amazon. So I specifically made an Amazon in the middle of the month. And basically, obviously, because albums got picked, I'm not gonna say what albums specifically. I was gonna get albums, or I get basically one album, and then some third-party stuff, because I was seeing like these cards and such, which was kind of weird, just because they were from the same seller I was going to get the album from. Because the thing with this gift card was that you had to you couldn't get anything internationally, you have to get things US based, so that was kind of restrictive. But honestly, I would say my time with trying to figure out what I was going to get was honestly fun, because it's actually fun being like challenged of like, okay, you're limited to this, this, and this, try to figure out what you can do with it. Like that was actually genuinely fun. But obviously, the gift card wouldn't go through on Amazon, basically. Even though my sister told me multiple times to not bother with it, just because, you know, she had a hard time with it. Even though she got our mom's card to go through, her stuff wouldn't. So basically then I was like, okay, if this is not going to work fully, then what am I going to do then? And the first place I thought of right away was eBay. Because I thought it would have just been funny to just use a gift card on eBay. Now originally I was gonna get a Animorphs Transformer. That was over the budget. That was over the amount that the card had, so I couldn't. But I went back to the card idea and was like, well, okay, maybe I should get some album inclusions. To which, that's not in this video, but that'll be like in 2 entries from now, just because of how things are going. I started looking for just unofficial photo cards and such, just because of the nature I found like the cards on Amazon. And obviously, like, as you know, this is obviously Red Velvet, but like in general I was just trying to look for unofficial stuff, and I ran into multiple listings of self-made unofficial cards and such, but the majority of them were in China, so I was like, oh, that sucks. But not this one. This one was a US based one. I don't know if I should show that, but here's the label that I have to censor for the sake of this. Yeah, so here it is. I think I have to rip this label off just to actually access the fold, so I guess we will do that. Because I want to try to open this as nicely as I could, so just a bunch of censoring out. So basically what I'm gonna do is that we're going to just simply lift this label up. We're going to lift this label up. Just this is very inconvenient. Obviously I don't want all this in frame, so then it's easier for me to keyframe out. So alright, so here we have all of this. This is a really interesting envelope, but basically with like the other one I ordered, I think I'm gonna just keep the identity of this user private, just so then they don't have to be associated with me, just because I feel kind of bad. But look at this. Alright, I'll remember to do that, just because I like how this looks, and I don't want to ruin it, like the effort people do just to like pack the presentation. It's like something I need to pay attention to. What is... I know this is a sticker. Okay. So, like what I said, these are not official at all. Okay, so it's this method. Interesting, so wow. Like, I'll definitely talk about how much these were, how much we got these for. This is definitely interesting. So those are the top loaders, and we can pull them out like so. As you can see from here, and I mean I've shown them beforehand, so it doesn't matter. But here's Irene, and here's Sugi. Then this is literally, oh wow, this is interesting. So. Here's Wendy. Here's Joy. And I'll keep this last one a secret. Then here's Yuri. So this was the initial set. So I got an entire set of the AR Queendom cards, or AR photo cards, because I don't know how you got these and such. However, what, like, I think days after, like a week, I think just last week, I finally decided to look back and just like comparing the prices between the official ones. They're the price of this entire order. Yeah. So I can definitely see why people would want to go for this. And, you know, just because I was like, oh, I can't just get this entire set. Because we have to get at least, oh god, I looked at it. We have to get an example of like what in traditional sense this person's like service is. So I decided to get a Rabbit Festival finale card of this specific card of Wendy, just because I was like, sure, I'm probably not going to be able to pull this, but yeah, definitely the quality is like really, it's really on par, I will say. I did grab this thing out just to, I was originally gonna get a photo card that like I at least had, but the closest one was like a bloom or something. Surprisingly, there wasn't like a lot, and I was originally going to get more cards. I was going to at least get a Rabbit Festival card of Wendy, so like I was going to get day 1, day 2 also, but then this entire order became $51, so I was like, shoot. I don't know, I genuinely feel bad for getting these things with a gift card. I feel like I'm cheating the seller out. But here, we'll just pull this card of Wendy. But I think the size, yeah, so I think the size definitely isn't, I would say 1-to-1, but and I would say the printing with this one, not exact, but again, it's like, it's fine just to have like at least one unofficial thing. But I think printing wise, I want to say these ones are thicker slightly. I feel like these ones actually have more resistance, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, basically, just to say, these cards were about like basically $5 a piece. Well, I mean, the AR cards were $5. I think these ones were more expensive because they're because of what they were. A standard photo card I think is like $4.22 or something, so this is $1 less. But I decided to get the entire set just because I'm like, might as well, because obviously we need to test one thing, which I need to actually look at. Let me brighten the screen up. We are going to try out all access, the SMAR app, because the listing does show like using this app, but we're gonna test if this actually works. Just because if it does, then I'll definitely say it's worth it. If it doesn't, I won't be surprised, because, you know, like obviously it's AR cards don't work through like NFC or like QR codes or anything like that. I think they just work by that, like, I don't know, like I think it's within the app. It has to download like, okay, this image will project this thing and such. So we will try it. I doubt it would work. If it works, cool. It doesn't devalue these unofficial versions of the cards though. I still think overall, you know, especially for this set, because I think I was only able to find Sugi, Wendy, and Joy, and they're like $28 each. Irene and Yuri I haven't seen anything on. So, I still think basically, like, especially like, is Super Junior finally get one? I don't know these things, but basically, they haven't done much of these, but basically, like, I'll say I like suggest to go out for these if you like don't want to buy an album, and if you don't care, or if, like, for example, like certain albums are like stupidly expensive to obtain, even though I think you can obtain this because I found this on Amazon, or the album on Amazon. But like, if you just want, like, or if, like, I don't know, if you can't find an avenue of just to buy a photocard off of someone, and if you just want to be as cheap as you can but still have the experience, I do recommend, you know, helping out people like this, you know, just because, you know, you basically are like owning a part of their work. And I think this person overall did a fantastic job of capturing the aesthetic, or just like capturing the quality and such. I really grew to like Bleach Wendy though. That's kind of why I picked that card. But anyways, let's. Okay, so SNSD got added. Okay, so we gotta download this just to at least try. So this is the one you have to like download and such, which is, yeah, see, this is what I assume. So you download the files. You download the file to get the you download the files, and then you just kind of have to have the card. OGG is just what does OGG have again? Why is this taking so long? I don't remember taking these this long, because I only had Kai and Don't Fight the Feeling. I never got the shiny. I never got Don't Call Me, so I never got that experience. I don't know why they dropped doing this. Like, I kind of want more, excuse me, with the AR stuff, because I think that would be fun. Like, I think that's more fun than, like, whatever metaverse stuff they're trying to do with Kwanya. 95.2. Don't freeze up on me. We have to end this video. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. You can check the downloaded AR content in mine. Why did you get rid of my EXO ones? Okay, let's try this out. Okay, so so it's what you're saying, like, okay. I think they have to require this. Okay, so this app includes augmented reality features. Please be aware of physical hazards in the real world. The minor should be parental advised. Should be parental advised. So I think they have to do this because of Pokemon Go. But scan the graphics. So here, let's grab Let's grab this Wendy and see if anything happens. It works! These things work! These cards work! Let's grab this Yuri, because Yuri's definitely not a selfie. Unless the lighting's just confusing me, but... Yeah. That one's definitely different. Obviously, I have to blur these because apparently SM's gonna copyright you if you show them. I'm gonna try Twitter. So let's try this Sugi. All right. Joy. This was the Queen's Archive, right? I think the majority of these are the Queen's Archive. What? I mean, like the main Queen's Archive, not one like. Oh shoot, the Irene one was already playing. Not like I can. Okay, this one's struggling. That's. Oh, it's because it's aimed at. Why is Irene struggling? This is weird. Okay, let's just play with this. Alright, so I don't know what's with Irene's card. Okay, it's aiming at Sugi, but it's weird. But I mean, again, these are not official, so obviously they're not gonna work 100%. But the fact they work is great, and right now it's constantly trying to aim at Wendy. But, I think it's just the angle you put the card at. I don't know, like the Irene one is stingy. But I feel like you can't really blame the card. But... And then like you can do dumb stuff like this. I know that like there's no point in me showing this if it's all censored, but you can literally do stuff like just do stuff like this, but just like literally just like do stuff like that, and it's like this is funny, even though like sometimes like it just struggles. Like, is it because it's detecting the others? Like, look, it's like detecting Sugi even though I'm putting it on Irene. So... But yeah. I'll definitely say, I think for stuff like this, I think, obviously, there's this moral of, whether or not getting unofficial stuff is ethical. That's basically the thing. I will say, if it's really difficult to come by, then just go for a cheaper version. And if you, obviously, if you and then, obviously, with stuff like this, it's just, you know, whether or not you actually want to pay, the full price for it and such. Just because, again, it also just depends on the member. So, if you're if you're like an Irene collector, but you don't want to pay like $70 for her cards, then go seek out for like unofficial cards and such. And then like obviously you can just have that as a placeholder until you get the official one. Or so like again, you can buy up these things to like do things. Like I know like you can put them in like acrylic keychains and such, because apparently people do that with Pokemon cards. And then like you can do other stupid things. It's your money, but I'm not gonna say specifically because I don't advise you doing those stupid things. But I mean like, you know, just cosmetic things, or just like want to chuck them, sure. Like especially if they're really bad quality. Like if they're really bad quality, sure. But like I mean like again, we're not saying these ones are bad. These ones, like this is probably the greatest I've seen, even though this is the only ones I've seen. I really want to try to collect more like knockoff merch. This is not specifically knockoff because this one's not advertising itself as a knockoff or like trying so hard to be the actual thing. This one is like genuinely just like, you know, just good substitutions and such. Because I think there's a difference between substitution and knockoff. We need to find knockoffs. I think this one's way too long. Again, I'm conflicted on whether or not I should actually share who this user is. I know they won't mind, but for their sake, I'm just not going to share. But you know, they're on eBay, so if you're interested, somehow go for it. Why am I reviewing these?